meeting more than any other business. That's right.
I would like to call the Monday, July 13, 2026 Common Council meeting to order. Clerk Toronto, I believe you would like to make some comments regarding the link for this meeting and other expectations.
Good evening, members of the public. To maintain good audio quality for council and yourselves, we will be muting everyone not speaking by default. If you would like to speak during a public portion of the meeting, please submit your request in the chat. Directions to do so will be listed. We ask that you provide your full name and residential address, as those are required for all speakers at in-person council meetings. Those wishing to speak virtually must activate their camera, displaying the speaker to be recognized by the chair. Additionally, if you are called on to speak, please provide your details in the following format. My name is full name, and I live at residential address. I would like to speak for or against agenda item. You will then be given 5 minutes to speak. Some additional announcements. We are having some technical challenges here, but we have improvised, so please bear with us. Those of you who are joining us virtually, please be sure to type everything in the chat so we can capture that for the minutes. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Disrespectful, rude, or disruptive speech or actions will not be tolerated. Such speech and or actions, as well as verbal attacks on any person, may result in the individual without notice forfeiting the remainder of his or her allotted time. At this time, if you would stand and we'll have our invocation. I will give an invocation today. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to come together to handle the business of the city. We ask, God, that you would continue to bless each and every member of this council. We ask that you bless every member of the administration, including our mayor. And we ask, God, that as we decide on issues for this community, that you will help us to stay strong and stick together and make decisions that will make this city a better place. We ask that you continue to allow peace to flow throughout our city. And we ask, God, that you allow us to be able to make decisions with our heart and with the best interests of our community in mind. Amen. Now we'll repeat the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Toronto, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Good Rogers.
Present.
Councilmember McBride.
Present.
Councilmember Dr. Reiniger.
Present.
Councilmember Golden Simpson.
Present.
Councilmember Thomas Morgan.
Present.
Councilmember White. Present. Councilmember Dr. Davis.
Present.
Vice President Zatsky.
Present.
President Lee.
Present.
All 9 present.
All right, we'll now hear a report from the subcommittee on minutes for June 22nd, 2026.
To the Common Council of the City of South Bend, the subcommittee has inspected the minutes of the June 22nd, 2026 meeting of the council and found them to be correct. Therefore, we recommend the same be approved.
All right, I will now entertain a motion to receive these minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. All right, there is no special business and there is no reports from city offices this week. And now I will entertain a motion to resolve into the committee of the whole.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye. Second.
All right, there we go. It is. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Point of
passes.
order, and Madam Chair, just wanted to, I forgot to remind you all that bill number 3026 has been tabled to August the 10th, so we will not hear that tonight. 26.
3826?
No, it's 38.
It's 3826, thank you, 3826. I apologize.
Yes, we'll get to that one when we get to it. The first bill is 30.
Committee of the Whole is now in session. This is the portion of the council meeting where bills are given a second reading and public hearing before a committee made up of all 9 council members. All bills are set for this second reading and public hearing have previously been given a first reading and a committee hearing prior to the evening meeting. In addition, we will hear from the chairperson of the standing committee where the bill was discussed and the results of that discussion. If the proposed ordinance is a zoning ordinance, a report from staff member will be given. In all other situations, the formal presentation on the proposed ordinance will immediately follow the committee report. The formal presentation shall be untimed. As provided by Section 2D of Chapter 2, Article 1, immediately following the formal presentation of the bill, council members will have the opportunity to ask preliminary questions of the staff and presenters. Then the public shall have the opportunity to address the council about the bill in the public hearing. I kindly remind all council members to respectfully address himself or herself to the chair to be recognized prior to speaking. When two or more council members seek recognition at once, the chair will name the member who shall speak first. A council member shall only be granted the right to speak a second time on the same question or issue after each member has had the opportunity to speak on said issue or question. Bill 3026, can someone step to substitute?
Motion to
Motion to accept the substitute, no?
I second.
Clerk Tamara, will you call the bill?
Public hearing on an ordinance of the common council of the city of Falcon, Indiana, amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 223 South Scott Street, 227 South Scott Street, 5 West Twain Street, 711 West Twain Street, 713 West Twain Street, 717 West Twain Street, 723 West Twain Street, 725 West Twain Street, 729 West Twain Street, and 710 Hoop Court, Councilman District Number 1 in the city of South Bend, Indiana.
Is there a committee report?
Yes, there is, Madam Chair. Bill number 3026 was heard today, well, really, it was heard 2 weeks ago, and it was also heard today. And we came to an agreement to bring this bill forward with a favorable recommendation without any written commitments as originally had been agreed to.
Is there a petitioner or a staff member?
Yes.
Please state your name and title for the record.
Absolutely, yes. Staff member to speak on the petition, Marco Cerrito, zoning specialist with offices on the 5th floor of this building. So this is a petition to rezone these properties from urban neighborhood 1 to urban neighborhood 2. The applicant, South Bend Heritage, is looking to rezone a number of properties on West Main Street, some of which they have already built on, as shown here, and some of which they are looking to build on soon, just down the street. Here's a proposed site plan for the project showing 5 duplexes. As was mentioned at the committee meeting before, they have also explored the potential for duplexes with cottage court on the city and staff. The 2022 Near West Side Neighborhood Plan that was adopted by the council and made an amendment to the city's comprehensive plan shows all of these properties going to U2 and future zoning map, aligning with petitioner's request. We'd just like to note that any development on this site would therefore have to be compliant with U2 zoning, which includes a limit of 4 units per lot built to a maximum of 35 feet, 2.5 stories in height, which are the same height requirements as in U1. At both the Planning Commission and Zoning and Annexation Committee, questions were brought up regarding facilities, specifically water pressure and parking. Public Works has determined through testing that any development allowed by U2 could be serviced adequately from a utility and water perspective, And staff believes adequate parking can be accommodated via both on and off-street parking. And the petitioner in the committee meeting spoke to potentially doing some parking pads or things on these lots to accommodate that. Thank you.
At this time, council members, do you have any questions for the petitioner? At this time, we're gonna go to the public hearing.
I have to present you.
Present your, I'm sorry. State your name for the record, please.
Good evening, Chris Gabuski, Abbott Marsh Consultants, 315 West Jefferson Boulevard, South Bend, Indiana, 46601. I represent South Bend Heritage and Director Mark Mariani, who also presented earlier in the committee meeting. The staff gave a very comprehensive report, and I know you have those materials in the packet as well. They wish to conduct attached family housing to start with, provide some parking pads, utilities are adequate in the area. This would also allow for the allowance of 3 or 4 unit attached units in this area. We also know that in the master comprehensive plan for the city, this area is slated for U2 zoning, so the zoning request we feel is fitting. As a synopsis, I can answer any detailed questions you may have.
Back to the council.
No questions, Madam Chair, on this one. This is a comment to Mr. Chris. I want to thank you for your email that you sent to me. I thank you for our phone conversation that we had today. I appreciate it. I did get a chance to talk to Mr. Marco about, the concerns, and I appreciated how you responded. We asked you all to bring a letter, or at least let everybody know about the whole hearing that we had at the South Bend plan, so we could all see what was the whole discussion about. The staff did that, and like I shared with them in the earlier meeting, if there's ever a major change like that, if they just let us know ahead of time and put that in the packet, and so that we would know, because we already had agreed to that, and then there was change, and I see why there was a change, and from that standpoint, it was just a little curveball, and I guess it should have expected this baseball season. But I just wanted to thank you for our phone call, and that helped me to be able to vote and change the way I was going to vote, and I appreciate that. And so I thank you for respecting me and doing that.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Anybody else? At this time, then we're gonna go back to the public hearing. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor?
At this time, I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor.
Is there anyone wishing to speak?
At this time, I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition.
At this time, then we'll close the public hearing. I will return back to discussion with the council.
I have one final comment, and I would also like to thank the Vice Chair of the Zoning and Annexation Committee, Rachel Thomas Morgan, for the manner in which she really took time to invest in this issue. And I appreciated her presentation today and her comments.
Thank you, Chair.
You're welcome.
President Lee.
I would just like to say I am very grateful that more housing is going in the first district, and as we are trying to provide opportunities for affordable housing for the residents of the first district, thank you for this opportunity.
Sure. I'd just like to add as well, grateful for more housing going. These parcels of land have been vacant for a very long time. So glad to see that housing, but also really appreciate the conversation that we had in committee that was robust, and some process improvements that could come in terms of enhanced communication across our departments to council. Thank you.
Anyone else? At this time, I will entertain a motion regarding Bill 3026.
Motion to bring substitute Bill 36 to the full council with a favorable recommendation and without any written commitments.
I second.
There's been a first and a second. Clerk Toronto, will you call the roll?
Councilmember Bolton Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember Dr. Biden,
Aye.
Councilmember Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Good Rogers,
Aye.
Vice President Niskoski,
Aye.
President Lee,
Aye.
9 ayes.
Okay, Bill 3026 shall go to the full council with a favorable recommendation. Okay. So at this time, I entertain a motion to resolve from the committee of the whole.
So moved. Second. Karen White.
Okay. Wanna
All in
call the roll?
favor?
Call the roll. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
All right.
All right. Motion passes. Bills on third reading. The full council is now back in session, and this is the portion of our meeting where bills are given a third reading and action is taken regarding bills that were heard during the committee of the whole. Clerk Toronto, would you please give Bill 3026, substitute Bill 3026, a third reading?
Third reading on an ordinance of the common council of the city of South Bend, Indiana, amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 223 South Scott Street, 227 South Scott Street, 705 West Wayne Street, 711 West Wayne Street, 713 West Wayne Street, 717 West Wayne Street, 723 West Wayne Street, 725 West Wayne Street, 729 West Wayne Street, and 710 House Court, Councilman District Number 1 in the city of South Bend, Indiana.
Councilor Gooden Rogers, is there a recommendation from the committee of the whole?
Yes, okay, this bill come to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
I will now entertain a motion.
Motion to approve bill, substitute bill 3026.
Second.
Substitute bill 3026.
There's been a motion and a second. Clerk Toronto, please call the roll.
Councilmember Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Councilmember Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
Councilmember Good Rogers,
Aye.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember McBride,
Aye.
Councilmember Bolton Simpson,
Aye.
Councilmember Dr. Biden,
Aye.
Vice President Niskoski,
Aye.
President Lee,
Aye.
9 ayes.
All right, Bill 30-26 has been adopted. All right, there are no resolutions, and now we will read bills on the first reading. Clerk Toronto, would you please give Bill 39-26 the first reading?
First reading on an ordinance of the common council of the city of South Bend, Indiana, repealing chapter 5 of the South Bend Municipal Code entitled Responsible Animal and Pet Ownership Care and Control Regulations, and replacing it with a new chapter entitled Animal Care Regulations and Welfare Enforcement.
All right, I will now entertain a motion to send Bill 39-26 to the Health and Public Safety Committee for a committee discussion on July 27th and send to the Health and Public Committee for public hearing and third reading on August the 10th.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Clerk Toronto, please give 40-26 a first reading.
First reading on an ordinance of the common council of the city of South Bend, Indiana, amending section 16-53 of the South Bend Municipal Code regarding conditions constituting public nuisance.
All right, I will entertain a motion to send Bill 40-26 to the Residential Neighborhoods Committee for public hearing and third reading on July 27th.
So moved. Second.
All right, there's been a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Clerk Toronto, please give 41-26 a first reading.
First reading on an ordinance of the common council of the city of South Bend, Indiana, amending chapter 20, article 3 of the South Bend Municipal Code to update definitions, procedures, and enforcement provisions relating to abandoned vehicles.
All right, I'll now entertain a motion to send Bill 41-26 to the Residential Neighborhoods Committee for public hearing and third reading on July 27th.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Clerk Toronto, please call roll. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? All right, motion carries. All right, Clerk Toronto, would you please give 42-26 a first reading?
First reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending section 20-84 of the South Bend Municipal Code concerning improper vehicle parking.
All right, I will now entertain a motion to send Bill 42-26 to the Residential Neighborhoods Committee for public hearing and third reading on July 27th.
So moved. Second?
There's been a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Clerk Toronto, please give 43-26 a first reading.
First reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending Chapter 20, Article 11 of the South Bend Municipal Code regarding the parking of large vehicles.
All right, I will now entertain a motion to send Bill 43-26 to the Residential Neighborhoods Committee for public hearing and third reading on July 27th.
So moved. Second?
There's been a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion, any opposition? Motion carries. All right, Clerk Toronto, please give 44-26 a first reading.
First reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 737 O'Brien Street, Councilmanic District Number 1 in the City of South Bend, Indiana.
Clerk Toronto, that was 1737.
I'm sorry, I will reread the bill for the record. First reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 1737 O'Brien Street, Councilmanic District Number 1 in the City of South Bend, Indiana.
All right, I will now entertain a motion to send Bill 42-26 to the South.
44-26.
44-26.
So moved.
Second.
Hold on, y'all.
He's got to sign the bill.
Let me assign it to the South Bend Plan Commission for public hearing on July 20th and sent to the Zoning and Annexation Committee for public hearing and third reading on July 27th.
So moved.
Second.
All right. There's been a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Clerk Toronto, please give Bill 45-26 a first reading.
First reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 203 Johnson Street, 207 Johnson Street, 213 Johnson Street, 215 Johnson Street, 2013 Orange Street, and 2014 Parallel Street, Councilmanic District Number 2 in the City of South Bend, Indiana.
I will now entertain a motion to send Bill 45-26 to the South Bend Plan Commission for public hearing on July 20th and send to the Zoning and Annexation Committee for public hearing and third reading on July 27th.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
There's been a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Clerk Toronto, please give 46-26 a first reading.
First reading on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending section 4-61 of the South Bend Municipal Code regarding taxi cab licensing and operations and providing for the extension of current licenses.
All right. I will now entertain a motion to send Bill 46-26 to the Community Investment Committee for public hearing and third reading on July 27th.
So moved. Second?
Second?
There's been a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. All right, unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business from the council?
It's unfinished, but at the same time it's new. And that is, Councilwoman Sherry Bowden Simpson and I have attended the Lafayette Falls Neighborhood Association meeting. And we have still been working with them in the 5th District regarding the challenges that they're having. They still have issues with some of the construction coming on their street. And another issue that we are dealing with is the fire station situation, and she can share about that.
Right now, after the development is completed in the Lafayette Falls, the number of houses will exceed the limit of that can be covered by the fire station on York Road. So we're seeking a mutual aid. I will be confirmed with Attorney Palmer, whose responsibility is it to set up the mutual agreement between Central Township and covering these extra houses that are going to be in Lafayette Falls. It's a safe situation.
With the fire chief there lacking that because of the distance between the closest fire station to their development as more houses are developed and added to their situation. So as more houses are, we're probably, what's that township there that is?
Center Township.
So their fire station with a compact with Center Township out of safety. And there is the construction road that will be going around for the housing. And so we're gonna talk about.
Hopefully, we want that soon, the construction road. It's supposed to be 90 days, soon, I'm gonna say soon. There's a song called it, Soon. We need a construction road because they are tearing up our roads and ultimately these big trucks. And ultimately, it's the city will have to pay for the potholes and knocked over curbs. So we need that done really soon.
Thank you. I'd like to also, while she's here, I want to thank her, Ms. McPhee, Mary McPhee, for thank yous for your department that's been working a lot with the Lafayette Falls Neighborhood Association. And they're really on fire there, so I really appreciate your guidance that you've been giving to them. And look forward to that continued relationships, but I appreciate your work. Thank you.
And Council President, I have one. Okay, I don't want to leave them out. Twickenham Hills Neighborhood Association. They are, I think they got their grant for their pocket park. And on July 18th, they will be putting that together. As you know, my gold standard request is to have a park on the property where Hamilton School is. But this is a good start to have a small park by the Twickenham Hills pool. So it's called a pocket park, and on July 18th, which is a Saturday, I hope I got that right, from 10 to 2, they will be working to get that prepared. Great job, Twickenham Hills.
Thank you. Yes. Vice President Skowski.
Thank you. I just am going to be having a neighborhood cleanup for the St. Adalbert area. It's going to be through the Vibrant Neighborhoods Cleanup. Thank you, Ms. Mary McAfee. That is going to be, I'm looking at that. Oh, it's going to be July 24th. It's going to be from 9 to noon. So everybody is welcome to come if you would like to help clean up the area. They will have a map there with the designated area for the cleanups, alleys, that type of thing. Plus they'll be citing, if there's any things that needs to be cited for code issues, they'll be citing for code issues. But the biggest thing is for the cleanup there. And they'll be meeting at the parking lot across from the church, right, Mary? Yeah. So I'm very excited about that. We've done cleanup in Rum Village. I haven't been in the St. Adalbert neighborhood, and they do have an upcoming 100th year celebration for St. Adalbert's. So they will be having a mass, I believe, on the 3rd of August at 4 o'clock, and I believe the cardinal might be there. So if anybody's interested in attending the mass, please do so. It'll be at 4. The other thing is in August, I'm going to have another public input for the neighborhood, the new neighborhood center, proposed ones through the kindness of, in collaboration with the Boys and Girls Club. We had one last month, or was it this month? I think it was later past month. But we didn't have a very good turnout. And we're not going to do programming for a new neighborhood center without getting more public input, especially from the residents that live there. I know Miss Mary McAfee, I think you flyered 700 homes?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
And I think we had 5 people. So I did talk with Daryl with the Boys and Girls Club. He thought it was also a good idea to try one more time, and that'll be coming up in August. So that's all I have to report from the 6th district.
All right. Any other new business?
I have some new business. This is Mr. President. I just want to thank the South Bend Fire Department. The church that was burnt on Ewing is one of my church denomination churches. I have attended that church several times, and it's been rather frightening and amazing to just see that how a fire just went through our church last week. It was something else, and I reached out to our pastor there at the church and working to try to rebuild and try to get everything going. But that was a devastating fire right there in Ewing, and there's no words to describe that situation. And I just appreciated our South Bend Fire for doing all they could to save as much as they could. I mean, it moved quickly. It just moved quickly. It was just horrible. And so I just keep our church in your prayers, because that is really something else to see your place of worship on fire like that. So, thank you.
Mr. Rogers, and then whoever next.
Yes, I would like to say watch the website. I don't want to give the wrong dates, so I have been putting together a meeting at Charles Black Center, and this will involve AEP, and you can come out. It's going to be for 3 nights, and you'll be able to come out for a couple hours, and they will have guest speakers there, and you will be able to ask anything you need to know about your electric bill. So just watch the website, because I don't want to give the wrong dates. Oh, but it will be the end of this month. Thank you.
Councilwoman McBride?
Thank you, President Lee. Just want to piggyback a little bit off of what Dr. Davis said. I did speak with Maranatha, which is the fire that occurred in the 3rd District. There will be a press release going out tomorrow for different community entities looking to assist them with food and clothes and different things of that nature. So more information will come when I get with the clerk's office after tonight's meeting. And Riley High School is having a back to school book back giveaway. I don't know if Councilwoman Ophelia Goodman Rogers had the date with her. I left my information in the office. But it's time of the year for the schools, getting ready for all the kids to have book back giveaways. So hoping that we all participate in our respective places and also assisting one another with helping our kids get back ready for school. Also, just a reminder of the cooling stations throughout the city, that we know the neighborhood centers are open, and other entities for our less vulnerable people. But starting tomorrow, it's going to be really, really hot. So praying that everyone stays safe with that. And just want to thank everybody who went to the 3rd District bus tour. That was a great time. We had about 15 riders and great connection with the residents in the 3rd District. And lastly, I'm hosting the Midwest Invitational Rodeo on August the 1st, Saturday at the Forge Fairgrounds. And it will be a good way of bringing the community together. And it's starting off at 3 o'clock with a mental health fair and a host of events. And the rodeo starting off at 7 o'clock that night. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just want to also just acknowledge Carl Hedler, who handles our homeless outreach. He does an outstanding job. Whenever there is a issue regarding homeless individuals, they go out and interact with those individuals in a very dignified way, and they've been doing some cleanups in some areas in the 1st District and around the river, and making sure the encampments aren't there and redirecting people to the right resources so they don't have to be outside. So I just want to thank Mr. Carl Hedler, and also the owner of the Portage and Elwood gas station. I talked to him last night, and he's going to come down from Lafayette to look at that area and make sure that it stays clean. So just wanted to acknowledge that. Next, we'll go to the privilege.
President Lee, may I?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I just wanted to continue the conversation that we were having in the committee session, that I will be hosting a public meeting to further discuss the bill. I can't remember the name of it now, but it has to do with the short-term rentals. There were so many people here in the gallery, and there's clearly a lot of interest in having more conversation about it, and I feel like it's probably necessary to have a public meeting so that folks can make sure that they've been heard and that we take into consideration what they're saying. So stay tuned for that. I'll be working with the clerk's office to get that organized very, very soon. Thanks.
All right,
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I would just like to, thank the city and the council for all the great things that are going on in District 2. Some people seem to think that District 2 is not moving, but District 2 is doing wonderful. We have a lot of great stuff going on in District 2. Our streets are being paved, we got housing, we got redevelopment being done in District 2, and I'm gonna continue to work as hard as I can to keep on doing stuff in District 2 and working with the administration to make sure that they make sure that stuff happens in District 2. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, we'll now go to Ms. White.
Yes, I just have one announcement. Starting the middle part of August, I will be out recruiting students for the Youth Advisory Council. This past cohort, we had 10 seniors, and of course, all of them have graduated and moving on to the next part of the journey. I would like to personally thank the clerk's office for all the assistance and the help that they have given to the Youth Advisory Council. We'll be putting out information to the various high schools, and there are high schools within the county, so they're not just South Bend Community School students, but most importantly, we want to make sure that they get the information and that we can be prepared early on as we move forward with our Youth Advisory Council.
All right, thank you very much. Anybody else? Thank you, Ms. Mary, for the Linden Street Market and all the work that you do and all the fun that you bring people. I hear nothing but good things, so thank you for all the great work that you're doing in our community.
I know this is informal,
Come on
but
up.
I love you guys and thank you all your support. And there's not an event.
So we can record your words. Hold on, Dr. Davis, hold on.
There's not an event that the council,
Come on.
somebody, get a mic. So, you guys are great. Thank you so much for your support, seriously, and for all that you do. There's normally not an event that there's a council representative, that there's always a council representative there. You shouldn't call me off guard, because now, no. But there's always council people who come to the Linden Avenue Farmers Market, they come to the neighborhood associations, their financial empowerment, and so many things that engagement and economic empowerment does. That's my portfolio. We have got feet on the street, boots on the ground, and the council comes with us. So just thank you for all the support that you give the community. You totally rock.
Thank you. All right, and at this point, we're going to move to privilege of the floor. Disrespectful, rude, or disruptive speech or actions will not be tolerated. Such speech and or actions, as well as verbal attacks on any person, may result in the individual, without notice, forfeiting the remainder of his or her allotted time. Individuals who wish to address the council must state their name and residential address. Individuals will be limited to 3 minutes only. The maximum time limit for this portion of the meeting is 30 minutes. Individuals shall not be permitted to address topics which the council has heard previously on the agenda. And the council president may assign a topic raised by an individual during the privilege of the floor to the appropriate council member and or request the city clerk to contact a member of the city administration for review. And topics assigned should be responded to at the next scheduled council meeting. Yes, sir. I ask that you state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Council. Dan Caruso, 305 Compton Street, New Carlisle, Indiana. This is a new building for me. A nice day you guys have here. It gives a little more ventilation. You probably would have been entertained seeing me go into the parking garage and thinking that going out the elevator door on one of those floors would get me into this building. So I eventually made it. I'm here about the Midwest Continental Divide. The way that whole thing has been handled is just the most cart before the horse operations I can never imagine happening from a some people of the level who are trying to bring that forward. The first thing you should do this is America. Somebody wants to come across my backyard with something, they don't start the plan saying, we're going across Dan's yard. I'm not a farmer. I live in town in Carlisle. They're going to come across my back of my yard with something. They got to talk to me first. They got to see what I think about it. They got to see if I'm acceptable to it. This did not happen with the farmers. Any of the farmers between the Dinosaur Museum and Potato Creek, out along the bypass, Mayflower Road, that whole area, none of them were consulted on what they thought, or if this was a good idea for them, whether they wanted to sell any of their land. And there's been eminent domain talked about. This is just, at least in New Carlisle, we had an 18-mile extension of the energy grid from the energy center to LaPorte area over in LaPorte, Indiana, 18 miles. And Wabash Valley Power Alliance and Hoosier Energy, the co-owners of the energy center, held not just an information giving, an information seeking event at New Prairie High School, and invited all of the farmers, all of the landowners who were in the possibly impacted areas. They had drawn out maps with 7 different routes. And the farmers, you knew what route was coming across your land. If you wanted to take part, you could have let them know that night. You could have said you objected to it that night. You could have said you wanted more information that night. That never happened with these folks. They were brought in after the bill was passed by the state. That does not make any sense. You're doing things backwards. It needs to go back. Wait till after the election. You want to bring that back and revisit it? The first person you sit down and talk to are my friends, the landowners in that area, that you're contemplating taking this invasive trail across their property. It's good if they want it, but at this point, it's invasive because you haven't involved them in the conversation with this Midwest Continental Trail. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? If not, is there anyone online? Oh, yes, please.
Good evening, council members. My name is Brett Burkus. I'm the owner operator of Blatt Farms, 58995 Mayflower Road. Pleasure to address you this evening. To dovetail Mr. Caruso's last statements, we didn't know anything about this trail. We found out in the news. And I don't know if you watched the news last week, but the town of North Liberty found out about it, and they weren't too happy about it. And the more we dig into this, we start realizing that there's a lot of tie-ins between the city and the state. For example, the legislation that was authored for this bill was sponsored by David Niskoski, Senate Act 468, passed 5/125. Its supplement followed up a little less than a year later, number 228. That takes what they've done with this is they want to take a half mile of land from any proposed trail. Interestingly enough, when I read this, and I'm going to quote here from what they're going to do. Utility facilities and improvements, water facilities and improvements, sewage facilities, rail projects, transportation projects. Section 8, acquiring, construction, rehabilitating, and repairing redevelopment projects, economic development facilities, and pollution control facilities. Wow, that's really interesting because back in 2003, we had a lot of issues with South Bend and the water coming out of South Bend.
You mean 2023?
2023, thank you. And I took my concerns to our representative, Ms. Sheila Niskoski. Never heard back from her. Interesting how a year and a half later, her husband crafts legislation to take our land and seemingly handle this. Would you want to drink that water? Would you want to see that in your dishes? Any of you? That's what you're putting in our ditches. I challenge each and every one of you to drive down to Mayflower Road and look at the Dixon Place ditch and see what you're putting in there. This is a disaster. So rather than worry about our farms and our western preserves so you can develop it, why don't you focus on the water? Why don't you take that same money and put it into the people who I see are struggling right now? You got affordability problems. You got issues with people. People need help out there. These are tough times. And you want to put your resources into a bike trail that benefits public sector millionaires? I'm sorry. Folks, we need to get your priorities straight. It's about people, not trails. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And for the record, this is not a South Bend, City of South Bend project.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is, absolutely. Really?
This is,
This was an issue by the City of South Bend in 2021. And let me read you your own mission statement, sir. To create a new identity for the area of St. Joe County and the City of South Bend around the concept of an economically viable eco-district. This new place could become a regional destination and national model for development. That's your documentation from 2023.
thank you, sir. Next person. Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, my name is Chantel Snyder, 57501 Mayflower Road, South Bend, Indiana, 46619. I also want to speak about this, and just before I go into my main purpose, I want to point out that this commission that would be formed under this master plan for the Continental Divide Trail has a member appointed by the city on the commission. So it is a city issue. It's not just county, it's not just state. The city would have a voting member, 3 voting members on this commission, 1 appointed from the city of South Bend. So it is city business. And the bill is very disturbing to me. I own a farm. I am a widow of almost 10 years, and I am trying to protect my farm. And the bill in several places talks about development that would be surrounding this farm, restrooms, restaurants, drinking fountains, picnic areas, camping, and that's all going to be around this trail. So where does that come from? It's going to be enlarging the amount of property it takes from the landowners. 1 page of this master plan of this Continental Divide Trail has a district that is referred to as a destination district, and it's several parcels of my farm. I didn't know anything about this until they started having these show and tell sessions. I went to one at Rum Village, and the legislation had already been passed. So, whatever we had to say or whatever objections we raised, were already sort of null because the legislation was already done. So how much power do I have to keep them from coming onto my land for a destination district? And the fact that eminent domain is over and over and over mentioned in this plan and in the legislation tells me exactly how they're gonna get my land away from me. And it repeatedly, I lost track of how many pages I counted where it said it was protecting existing farmland from development or undesirable development, or however they worded it. And in North Liberty, the person promoting this was, and I won't give his name because I'm not trying to point fingers or anything, but he kept saying that they were trying to protect farmland from data centers and solar panels. And I have lost track of how many times I've been approached on the phone, in emails, in postal comments, people showing up at my house asking for my land for solar panels, for battery storage, for sequestration of carbon, for data center use. If I wanted to do that and sell my land and walk away with a big pile of cash, I would have done that by now in the last 10 years, because I've lost track of how many opportunities I've had that I've turned down because I'm protecting the farm. I'm protecting my property from developers. And I don't need some commission created by the county, the city, and the state to protect my farm for me. I'm doing that just fine because I repeatedly say no.
30 seconds, ma'am.
Thank you very much for your time and your consideration. I know this is going to come up in the future, and I'm happy that you gave me this opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Mel. And to all of you that are here today, again, thank you for being able to voice your concerns. Again, it hadn't come before us yet, so that was what I was saying. It hadn't come before us yet. But again, thank you, and thank you for your ability to say how you feel. So, yes, sir.
Good evening, council members. Steve Sass, 27910 US Highway 20, that's New Carlisle. Most of you probably remember me from the advisory work that I used to do with the park department here. I'm also here to speak about the Midwest Continental Divide Trail, but in a different perspective than the other folks who have preceded me. It feels like maybe the council isn't fully aware of the situation with what's going on here. The mission statement that Mr. Burgess read, I believe, was from a report, a concept report that the city paid $48,000 into several years ago to look into the idea of creating this, what was called at the time Western Reserve, which was sort of an ambiguous term that kind of meant the west side of South Bend, maybe the west side of the county. But then things moved forward in 2024 when St. Joseph County commissioned a $300,000 study into a Midwest Continental Divide Master Plan. In October of 2024, 1 month later, the City of South Bend Redevelopment Commission granted a budget request for $150,000 to go towards what sounded like a very similar plan, even though it wasn't necessarily mentioned at either redevelopment commission that they were both chipping in on the same product. So this is the product, the Midwest Continental Divide Trail Master Plan, which was created by a no-bid consultant, $450,000, and this was just released about a week or two ago. And when people saw what was in it, they became very alarmed. I encourage all of you to read this cover to cover. If you get to the back of the plan, this is really important. In the appendix section, there is drawn in there the Midwest Continental Divide District. And what the Midwest Continental Divide District is a map of the area where the money appropriated by SEA 468, which is $2 million per year coming from the Pokagon Fund, can be spent, can be appropriated. The map, well, first I'll back up and say the Midwest Continental Divide Trail Plan starts off by celebrating the fact that we have this continental divide that runs through our county, and it was very historic. We have the St. Joe River, we have the Kankakee River, we have the historic portage. It's the reason why South Bend is where it's at. But then when you look at the district map, most of South Bend is ineligible for these funds, which makes no sense to me. Beck's Lake has been in the news a lot lately, and that used to be Lake Kankakee. It was a beautiful large lake that's 4 times the size of what Beck's Lake is now, that drained into both the St. Joseph River and the Kankakee River. It was extraordinarily historic and should have been included in this plan, but for some reason, we have Lakeville and we have North Liberty in this district, but most of South Bend is not. None of New Carlisle is eligible for these plans. So yeah, it really makes you scratch my head as to who all was involved in drawing these lines on this map to where this money could be spent. So
30 seconds, sir.
Okay, 2 more things. The Coal Line Trail. We have this lovely trail in South Bend. Maybe you don't know, but the city owns 50 feet on either side of the trail, and we're mowing like 5 feet on either side of the trail. There's 45 feet that's not maintained at all, that has 5-foot-tall vegetation in it. I met with Holy Cross Parish, which is borders the Coal Line Trail, met with the park department. They basically said there's nothing we can do about it. And lastly, the park board has had three commissioners on the park board for like 3 years now. State law, IC 36-10-3-4 calls for Indiana second-class cities to have 4 commissioners appointed by the mayor. I don't know why we only have 3 commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else? Is there anyone online?
We do, we have a member online.
Okay. Please state your name and address for the record.
Ms. Tiana Batiste-Waddell, please unmute yourself and turn on your camera.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Good evening. Can you hear me?
We are having, we're not able to see you. We see.
So I
like
don't
a
need to
green
go now.
screen.
I'm trying to go at the end of the meeting. I apologize. I thought I put privilege of the floor. I meant at the end though. So I'm not ready. You hear me okay? That was my post.
Okay, we can see you
Yeah.
now.
Can you hear me?
We don't hear you.
I don't want to speak.
We do see you talking.
It's in the chat.
Mute your microphone.
No, chat. CHAT.
There's something about the chat.
Chat.
Can you please type out everything in the chat and we will make sure we enter it for the record, please?
I did.
Thank you. And we won't end the meeting until we get your comment. Or you can email it to us.
No, I'm not doing that.
Would you rather put it in the comment? Because we want to be sure to capture what you're saying.
There's a person. You said they're waiting to get in, Ms. Bloss. She said they were,
I don't know if she heard.
Yeah, I might want to repeat.
I did hear it.
Ask her what she
In the
wants to
chat.
do.
So you would not like to speak at this time?
No. The end.
Okay, thank you. So she's not wishing to speak at this time?
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else that's online?
yes.
There is no
Yes,
one,
hold on a second.
wait, hold on
Yeah,
one second.
There's a person, there's an area on Bloss. Yeah, but Bloss, there's a person waiting to get in, are they trying to get in the wrong one?
We don't see anyone wishing to
They
get
tried to
in.
get in, they tried to get in the last one.
There's no one in the chat, in the waiting room at this time.
She's on the committee, but she's not the council.
I don't know. They should have the.
Are they on the committee link or the council meeting link?
She's not on the list.
Person, just talk to that person. Just talk to them. That's what I'm trying to get in.
Talking about
I don't know, no, it's what he's trying to get in.
Maybe give her instructions to get on to the council.
Give him instructions.
Can you,
Give him instructions.
are you able to log into the meeting?
Yeah, I tried to, it was on, now it got off.
Is that long to be?
Is there any way you can log
It's
in?
been two, there's been two. Bloss has been trying to get in and he's been trying to get in.
Can we just put the phone in front of the microphone and I can speak into that?
We'll go ahead and do that.
Sure, yes. Please state your name and address for the record.
Okay, are we rolling now?
We are.
Oh, great. Derek Dieter, D-I-E-T-E-R, 1740 Portage Avenue.
Okay,
Are you still there?
yes.
We're here, yep, you're good to talk.
Okay, well, thank you, council. You may be confused, I don't know who spoke earlier that said the city is involved, but you are involved. In 2021, the city of South Bend started this under Mayor Mueller, and Corcoran and I think Lee Cameron Bauer. I've got the paperwork to show you. You all spent $48,000 on this project, and since then, the city of South Bend has spent another $187,500 on this project. By the way you people were talking, I don't think you knew anything about it, which is disappointing, because Karen and I we had this problem years ago when I was on the 12 years on the city council. But if anybody knows Sean Peterson, he is the person mainly involved in this, and I can read, and this is your city's contract with him, your city's contract. His tasks are, community development will facilitate planning process to encourage smart growth, natural resource preservation, elimination of blight, sustainability, economic and racial inclusion. Now remember that, economic and racial inclusion and amenities to provide the location of multi-purpose trails to link South Bend's west side and key natural assets. And it concludes in the deliverables, community partners will convene regular meetings among stakeholders and provide city monthly progress reports. So I don't think that's happened with any of you. This started in September of 24, this drive now, and like I said, this started back with the city of South Bend in 2021. And the unique thing, if you guys have not seen the final report, it doesn't include the 6th district, the 2nd district, the 1st district. It doesn't include LaSalle Park. It doesn't include Kennedy Park. It doesn't include the King Center. So all of those things are not even in this when they specifically said racial inclusion. Okay, I wrote actually today, and I rode from basically Oak Road into South Bend. There's a way to go along 20 to get to Sheridan where you can ride into Kennedy Park. Then you can cut through there, you can jump the tracks and go into LaSalle Park. And I think Karen may remember, when John Charles was around, we used to do the Major Taylor bike parade, and I think there was only 6 or 7 people around Bexley, which if y'all don't know was originally Mike Kankakee. Then you can come back over the tracks and you can go along Orange, which will take you to the King Center. Then you can go north on Wilbur to get to the coal line trip. So this entire thing has been a scam. St. Joe County redevelopment has spent over $315,000, and Sean Peterson and his group has gotten over $500,000 for, I wouldn't call it a plan, I would call it a brochure. And the bottom line is, you people around the cap are involved where you should have had input, especially people in the 6th and the 2nd and the 1st district. Nobody else from the city that I'm aware of was included in discussions, including in plans, including, hey, 2nd district person or 1st district or whatever, what would you like to see on your side of town?
30 seconds, sir.
Thank you, Bob, who I hired when I was the president of the council years ago. But I really would love to get with any of you, if you want all the information. You have a lot of people speak today who are all up on this, Steve Sass and Brett, and everybody that spoke about it, in addition to the 162 people who came up to a meeting in North Liberty to talk about it. So again, thanks for your time. Let me know if you want all the information, because it's really horrific what's been going on behind closed doors.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone else? Clerk Brown.
We're gonna try Tiana one more time.
Hi, friends. Can you hear me now?
The issue is that we are unable to hear her.
Can't hear me?
She's on right there.
Can you?
Can we just have her? She's right here.
You can have her call
Okay, so, is
Yeah, I'll to call her.
Miss Tiana, Dr. Davis is gonna call you so we can hear you through the speaker.
Thank you. Oh, you're talking about Tiana?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you Lord.
Now she called me, wait, oh.
You called her.
Now she just.
Okay,
That's all.
please, can we let's put her on the speakerphone, she's on.
No, we had two different people, sorry.
I don't understand why my.
She was the other one that was texting me.
Okay.
Again,
Don't worry about it.
Well, I think she is wishing to speak, so.
I got it. I have a Tiana's here now.
okay.
You hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
That is crazy. I don't know what's going on. I apologize. Thank you for being flexible. So what do I need to turn down?
Mute your computer.
Okay, maybe that'll work. No, that's not gonna work.
Yes, it does. It's working.
Okay, here we go. I'm trying to go. Here we go. Tiana Batiste Waddell, 330 West.
You can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. So this is the end of the meeting, right? I'm not in the.
You're at privilege on the floor.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Please say your name and address for the record.
Yes, here we go. Tiana Baptiste Waddell, 330 West Colfax Avenue, South Bend, Indiana. 30 days ago, I stood before this body and asked what comes next following the release of the report documenting generations of racial discrimination and harm against Black residents in South Bend and St. Joseph County. 30 days later, there has been no meaningful public response, no visible implementation plan, and no clear indication that this body has organized itself around the report's recommendations. The community has waited long enough. The report is complete, the data is validated, the harms have been documented. There has been more than enough time to begin planning. Tonight, I am calling on the Common Council to publicly commit to a process for implementation of the recommendations and to provide the community with a timeline for action. I am also requesting an update on whether this body has begun discussion regarding direct financial restitution for residents harmed by policies that intentionally created and sustained the racial wealth gap. Black residents should not have to continue asking whether our elected officials are taking this report seriously. The time for studying the problem has passed. It's time for organization, alignment, and implementation. Again, thank you for being flexible. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else?
There is no one in person or online wishing to speak on privilege of the floor at this time. Thank you.
All right, if there's no one else, then we would now adjourn this meeting. Thank you, everybody, for your time, your words, and thank you for being here tonight. Thank you very much. God bless you and be safe.